Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom, and today I'm taking a look at Maine's largest and most successful mall, the Maine Mall in South Portland, Maine. Now come along with me and let's take a look. The first store built was the one to our left, Jordan Marsh, which opened as a freestanding store in 1969. Work on the mall itself started the next year, and the mall officially opened in 1971. In addition to Jordan Marsh, the initial anchor stores were Woolworths, Sears, and an IGA Gold Star supermarket, none of which remain today. So here's the former Jordan Marsh. It was here until 1996 when it became a Macy's. And don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more mall videos coming up. Thanks. Here's a map of the mall. Right now we're in the bottom right corner where it says Macy's. The section of the mall we're in now, going from this Macy's all the way down to the former Sears at the end of this hallway, is the original portion of the mall. Between 1982 and 1983, the mall had a major expansion and essentially doubled in size. This expansion added new anchor stores, JCPenney, Filene's, and Porches. I know somebody's going to say I mispronounced Porches, but I think that's correct. It also added a food court, which has since moved apparently, but I can't really figure out where it was originally. And not surprisingly, the only remaining anchor store from the 1983 expansion is JCPenney. As usual, I was able to find a lot of information on the anchor stores at this mall, but not so much on the smaller stores. So if you know this mall, let me know what was in some of these stores back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. And also let me know what you think about the mall in general. I'm a big fan of chandeliers in malls and other fancy things hanging from the ceiling, so I thought this was pretty cool. Basically, it looks like the sun hanging over a compass rose. Not exactly sure what the significance of that is, but it is pretty cool. And also, for those of you wondering, this was filmed on a Tuesday at about 10:15 a.m. right after the mall had opened, so that's why it's not super busy right now. Straight ahead where the Best Buy is today was originally Lechmere, which opened in 1994 as part of another expansion and major renovation of the mall. The Lechmere closed in 1997 and was replaced by this Best Buy and David's Bridal in 1998. The 1994 renovation also added new skylights, which this might be one of them, I'm not sure. It replaced the floor tiles, moved the food court to its current location, and added a bunch of other stores, most notably a Disney store, Warner Brothers Studio store, Bath & Body Works, and many more. And of course the Disney store and Warner Brothers stores are long gone. The Maine Mall is one of the rare malls outside of Connecticut that I've actually been to before. My mom's side of the family is from Maine, so I was actually here back in 1994 during that renovation, but I have very little memory of the mall from that time. All I remember is that it looked basically the way it does now, and that I went to a comic book store here and bought a few Star Wars comics, including Star Wars Tales of the Jedi #1 for $7. Don't ask me how I remember that, but I seem to remember small details like that for some reason. I guess it was really important to me at the time. I like these trees and clouds here. I don't think the cloud is supposed to be blinking like that, but it kind of makes it look like a thunderstorm, so that's kind of cool. On the left is where Woolworths was located from 1971 until it closed in 1997. Since then, the space was subdivided and has been a few different stores over the years. It's currently occupied by this Super Shoes, Aerie, and Old Navy. And then, of course, straight ahead, this is where Sears was located from 1971 until it finally closed in 2020. It looks like you can only access the Old Navy from outside. I think someday I'll rent one of these animal rides and take it for a spin around the mall. Assuming I'm not over the weight limit, which I might be. As you can see, they have a pretty nice selection of stores here. They have, some lower end stores, mid-range, and also real high-end stores like that Swarovski. So I think if I lived in this area, I'd probably be coming to this mall fairly regularly. I think the IGA supermarket used to be on the left here, right before you get to this open area here, which is the new section of the mall that was built between 1982 and 1983. And now we're officially in the new section of the mall from 1983. And let's take a look at this round one. So you see here there's escalators. These are actually the only mall escalators in Maine, not counting ones inside of stores. So fun fact there. This is where Porches was located from 1983 until it closed in 1994. In 94, the building was gutted and subdivided. Filene's Men and Home opened in the lower level in 96, and then they closed in 2006. Forever 21 and H&M then moved into the lower section in 2008. Forever 21 closed in 2020, and the lower level is still vacant today as far as I know. Sports Authority moved into the upper level here in 1997, but they closed in 2016. And then this round one opened in 2018. I've been thinking about doing a full video inside a round one or like a Dave & Buster's someday to play some of the video games. So if anybody wants to see that, let me know in the comments. But I have noticed that my arcade videos don't seem to get a lot of views, at least not in comparison to the mall videos and other videos like flea markets. But again, if you want to see me do a video like that, please let me know in the comments. They sure do have a lot of claw machines here, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm much more into like classic video games. And they do have a lot of those too, so there is a reason for me to come back someday and do a full video here, or not at this one, but at my local one in Connecticut or Massachusetts. Let's Go Island. I've never seen that one before. Of course, Jurassic Park, you see that pretty much everywhere nowadays. Never seen this one before. Transformers game, it looks like. House of the Dead, I've played that one before. It's pretty good. Walking Dead. Yeah, most of these games here you see pretty much everywhere. And they've got an actual bowling alley. It's pretty cool the way they have the pins light up like that. Might be a little distracting when you're playing, but it's cool to look at. Daytona USA, that's a classic. And this is a little unusual. These ones say straight from Japan, and they don't really look like regular video game machines that you'd see in the US. I think those might be called candy cabs, but I could be wrong. Pac-Man Smash. It looks like a Pac-Man version of air hockey. It's kind of neat. Now that's one type of game I will never do. These dancing games, it's just never going to happen. Here's Fast and Furious Arcade. That looks pretty cool. I'd play that. To say I'm pretty impressed with the selection of games here. It's a lot better than a lot of the modern arcades that I go to. Not counting, of course, Fun Spot or Half Moon Arcade in New Hampshire. Those will always be the best, in my opinion. This is a King Kong VR game. And don't get me wrong, I love VR. I have a VR headset at home. But I would never play VR in public just because everybody's putting that on their face. So you got to figure it's getting their sweat and grease and who knows what else all over those masks. So unless I had like an alcohol wipe to wipe that down, I would never put that thing anywhere near my face. Alright, so now back to the mall. And there's another tree. You know, it's obviously a fake tree, but I like seeing trees and bushes and other like natural type looking things in malls. And this one doesn't have a ton, at least not compared to, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, but it's something. Here's the food court, which I believe was moved to this location in 1994 during the renovation. And my research indicated that before this, there was another food court that opened in 1983. But I have the map of the mall from 83, and I don't see it anywhere on that map. And I also don't really see anywhere that it could have fit other than here. So if anybody knows where the food court was originally, please let me know. food court seems to have a pretty good selection of restaurants. It looks like only one of them is actually closed. The other ones are open. It's just, again, it's early. This is about 10:30 a.m., so I would imagine in about an hour this food court would probably be pretty full. And then here's the JCPenney, which has been here since 1983. And this JCPenney is open. It just hasn't opened for the day yet. I think they open at 11. Also, on one of the old mall maps from '96, it shows that on the left here used to be Record Town. And before that, I think it was Tape World. Here's Jordan's Furniture, which moved in 2020. And Jordan's always has amazing stores. This display on the ceiling here is part of the Jordans. And this Jordan's moved in 2020. Originally, this is where Filene's was located from 1983 until it closed in 2006 after being purchased by Federated Department Stores, which also owns Macy's. As the mall already had a Macy's, both Filene's locations were closed at that time. And the space was then vacant for about 7 years until the Bon-Ton moved in 2013. And it was actually the only Bon-Ton location in Maine. The Bon-Ton finally closed in 2017, and then, like I said, this Jordan's Furniture moved in 2020. And I think this is really cool. They have this indoor ropes course. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger than it is, but it's still pretty cool. Not something I would ever go on, though. And now I'm not going to do a full walkthrough of Jordan's, but I figured I'd do a really quick walkthrough just to get an idea of what the place looks like. I did do a full walkthrough of the Jordan's Furniture at West Farms Mall in Farmington, Connecticut back in January of this year. Very few people watched it though, so if you do want to see a full walkthrough of the Jordan's Furniture, check out that video.
Please watch your step and hold the handrail. Please watch your step.
I really like the look of the store and the layout, and the furniture looks pretty nice. I've never bought from them before, but in my experience, they are kind of pricey. A little bit outside my price range, honestly. Let's take a little bit of a closer look at this ropes course. So I think most of you would probably agree that the Maine Mall appears to be doing fairly well, and as far as I can tell, that's generally true. There were, of course, a few hiccups over the years, such as the general slowdown at pretty much every mall due to online shopping around the turn of the century, and the closure of numerous anchors and other stores over the years. Luckily, however, with only a few exceptions, such as Sears and Forever 21, the mall was able to find new stores to fill those vacancies, and today the mall has very few empty storefronts. There are a few, but not a lot. Also in 2009, the mall's owners at that time, General Growth Properties, declared bankruptcy. As a result of the bankruptcy, General Growth Properties was split into two companies, one of which was Brookfield Properties, the current owner of the mall. So now the question is, why is the Maine Mall as successful as it is? Well, there are a few reasons that I can think of. First, like with most successful malls, it has a lot to do with the location. It's located in southern Maine, which is by far Maine's most populated region, and it's also an extremely popular tourism and vacation destination. It's located directly next to I-95 and I-295, so it likely gets a lot of shoppers from out of state. Also, as far as malls, it doesn't really have any competition in the area. To the north, there's the Auburn Mall, which, if you've seen my video on that mall, is unquestionably dead. Then to the south, you have the mall at Fox Run, just over the border in New Hampshire, but it's over 45 minutes away, and I doubt many people in the Portland area would choose to drive down there over going to the Maine Mall. The mall also seems to be fairly well maintained and has a large selection of stores, which gives customers a reason to want to shop here, unlike some other malls. But let me know why you think the mall is successful, or if you disagree with me and think that this is a dead or dying mall, please let me know that as well. Alright, well, don't go anywhere next. As always, I'm going to do a drive around to the mall and we can see what's going on outside. So here's the former Jordan Marsh, which opened in 1969 before the mall itself. And then, like I said, it became Macy's in 1996. Here's a drawing I found of what this looked like back when it was still Jordan Marsh. This used to be the Lechmere from 1994 up until 1997. and then it became the Best Buy in 1998. And this is the old Sears building. Sears was here from 1971 until 2020. And as you can see, they did update to the new Sears logo at some point. But here's a picture I have of this location from back when they had the old style logo, which I much prefer. Not sure what they're going to do with this Sears, but I didn't see anything online talking about redeveloping it into anything else. Where that Old Navy is today, that used to be Woolworths. And then this is where Porches was located from 1983 until 1994. And then it became the Filings Men and Home on the bottom level in 96. And a Sports Authority on the top level in 97. And here's the JCPenney building, which has been here since 1983. And I would bet that they have not done any updates to the outside of this building since 1983. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. And then this building was originally Filings from 1983 until 2006. Then it was the Bon-Ton from 2013 to 2017. And Jordan's moved in 2020. And then we're back to the old Jordan Marsh, currently Macy's. And there you have it. That's the Maine Mall in South Portland, Maine. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more mall videos coming up, as well as store walkthroughs and, of course, flea markets. And also, don't forget to let me know what you think about this mall in the comments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.